Morning guys. Okay, so what's new at JMACX? So as most people are aware, we have our GVMs for our 300 series. So at 38 and 42, and they were federally approved, I think back in June, I think they were. The problem that we had, whilst we tested and did all our evidence packs for 35-inch tyres, no one had managed to solve speedo correction. So that's been the tricky part of these new cars with all the CAN bus and everything in them. So whilst we then had to put the approval through and use smaller tyres, but then once we got speedo correction in, we were able to then submit to the federal government for our 35-inch tyre approval. So as of Friday, we now have fully federally approved 35-inch tyres on the SSM. So what's that mean for you guys is it means that we can do 3-inch lift, 35-inch tyres. The hold up only at the moment for the GR Sport and the, I think it's the VX Sahara. So the ones that have the heads up display, whilst we have the speedo correction for them, we're just finalising the fitting instructions. So we're got a couple of weeks out from that. So we're not going to release the GR Sport with a heads up display just purely until we have our fitting instructions completely sorted, as they do wire up differently. So what does this mean for post-rego cars? Okay, so under the pre-registration SSM compliance scheme, the federal government overrules all states. So federal government, pre-rego overrules all states. When you go down the post-registration space, you're now answering to each individual state. Whilst there's a national code of practice for the states, they all have different lines in the sand of what they accept and what they don't. A good example is in South Australia, they accept 1-inch lift, 1-inch tyres, or 2-inch suspension, no tyres. So they have a 0 to 2-inch maximum for ESC cars, unless you have full ESC evidence. So that's part of that. Queensland, 50mm lift, 50mm tyres. They do not have any methodology to go outside 50mm tyres. Now, I had a discussion with the guys high up in TMR on Friday, testing this theory, because yes, we have ESC, we've done everything the first stage manufacturers, however, we can do the lift, but because the tyres are outside that 50mm rule for Queensland, it's a no-go in Queensland post-rego. However, on a high note, they have said to me they are working on a solution, a change of legislation to allow bigger tyres. But the reality of it is now, ESC cars, no ESC testing, no bigger tyres, no bigger lift, that's period. So there is no methodology to go around it. I had a personal conversation with the guys high up in TMR on Friday. Anything that has ESC fitted, regardless of the GVM or the vehicle category, if it's post-registration and it's in the light vehicle space, you come under the scrutiny of each state. So for those guys, look, we have engineers in every state who can walk you through your state approval, whether you can do it post-rego, but pre-rego, we're good to go. Obviously, heads-up display, give us a couple of weeks to finalise our paperwork on the fitting instruction just to ensure that that is 100% correct. But from an SSM perspective, I think we're even the first to do 3-inch and 35s on a 300 series in the country. So another first for JMACX, but if you've got any questions, you can reach out to one of our facilities or contact us at sales@jmax.com.au.